Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday! You're listening to 102.2 KBLD. Building, building, building in the mornings or evenings, I guess.
It's morning somewhere.
Yeah, it's always morning on Massage to AVB.
I don't know. I guess technically so. If we had access to more of the full sphere of the planet, that might make more sense.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's fair. I keep forgetting that like all we have access to is a tiny little continent, basically. I
it is
mean,
kind of
not
funny.
tiny, but you get what I mean.
Tiny in the planetary sense.
Yeah.
Okay, you should be clear to come in, and I will post
All
my usual
right.
startup message.
There we go. Mhm.
Ta-da! And
Okay, I hear sound. That's a good sign.
that is a good sign. Not to jinx us or anything, but
Yeah.
there we go.
Uh-huh. Come on.
That felt like a slight hitch of you logging in.
I'm still loading.
Oh boy.
Ah,
Overconfidence may have screwed us over
man.
again. Yeah, I'm getting the
Me
repeated
too.
lag spikes. I think you're gonna have to start over.
Yeah.
Which may work. It has worked in
It
the past, knock on wood.
yeah, it has. But I'm gonna laugh if I wasted that joke on a stream that's gotta end early or whatever.
I'll make it a clip or
All right,
something.
all right, there we go. Let's try this again, shall we?
I mean, the last time we did a short stream, I just tacked it onto the beginning of the other one. Okay, that is
Yeah, that's
looking. It's looking better on my end so far.
okay. I've got sound. Like I'm
Okay.
clearly, the world is there behind the loading screen. It's just not.
And I'm doing the thing where I pan around slowly to check for lag, and it's doing pretty well so far.
Mhm.
This power
There we go.
tower is like halfway off a cliff, though.
There we
That's a
go.
little silly looking. Cool. Oh, and I wouldn't even
Okay.
be able to rearrange it without redoing these wires. Okay, so let's see. I have a hopefully genius plan to enact. What is your plan for
What's that?
today? Oh,
Okay,
or I can
so
tell you my plan first, whatever you want. Where am I?
yeah, why don't you
There
why
we
don't
are.
you lay out your plan first?
Okay, so I am remembering how I did things back in my factory when I had gotten to this point. Basically, in order to make the ballistic warp drives, you need to make the singularity cells. And singularity
Mm-hmm.
cells require nuclear pasta. Now, at some
Uh-huh.
point, because you're going to be doing the whole nuclear power thing, you're going to want to have like a nice steady supply of singularity cells. But I don't need to set up that line right now. I only need as many nuclear pastas as I need to make 200 ballistic warp drives.
Yeah.
So, what I did for my initial factory was I set up the line to make ballistic warp drives, but I
Mm-hmm.
only set aside exactly as many nuclear pastas as I needed to do that, and I was using Sommersloops to multiply their efforts.
Mm.
So my
Okay,
plan
yeah,
is
yeah.
to set up that line, and then whenever that's ready, we can just divert the drone that's taking nuclear pasta to the space elevator, send it over here, fill up a bin
Mhm.
with just enough nuclear pastas so that I can specifically stop any extras from being used that way, and then we can send the drone back to the space elevator.
Cool. I dig it. Also of note is that when I do nuclear power, I will produce nuclear pasta on site. Um, I in no way do I want any power generation facility to depend on any other part of the factory.
That
That
is
is a surefire way to make the power switch off at some point.
Yeah. So I was kind of thinking that, well, if we had gotten to this part and you were already starting to set up the nuclear power and all that, then we could just like extract a tax of this many singularity
Mm,
cells as you get started up. But it doesn't look like you're actually doing that yet, and so it's probably faster if I charge ahead with this.
yeah, I think that that's a wise idea because I'm gonna my plan essentially is I'm going to finish the steel foundry here. And then I'm going to start reconfiguring things to feed into that, or to feed from that,
Okay.
wherever I can. And then I will, and then I'll see where I'm going to go from there. I'm not 1,000% sure,
Okay.
but it'll probably involve more trains.
Excellent.
Hell yeah. Okay,
All right. Let's see.
so
We're making superposition oscillators. We're making the AI thingies. I'm just kind of looking at
right.
these because it makes me happy.
Oh yeah. That's right. Okay, I just need.
I'm still limited by supercomputers, but it's not a serious problem actually.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
rolling.
do some synthetic work on this stuff.
We've
Just
got
trying
the
to get
crystals.
this.
I've also realized that the smart mergers, the priority mergers, could potentially make dealing with dark matter so much easier. I'm not
How so?
sure if. Well, because there is a way to just create dark matter residue from SAM ore if you need it, which you might depending on what else is being made or not being made.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would make it. It just gives so many like more and smarter ways of like dealing with the crystals and dealing with
Mm.
excess amounts of this and that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to play around with, but for now
Hey, I can't argue with
I should
that.
I should just get things being made. So let's see. That's right. This is an alphabetical list, not a order of unlocking list. Okay, so really the only new thing I need to make is the singularity cell, and that's actually really easy.
I don't know. I never thought that they looked easy whenever I looked at them, but
Well,
maybe I was missing something.
I already have dark matter crystals here. I'm gonna ship
Mm-hmm.
in the nuclear pasta, and the other
Mm-hmm.
two things that they need are iron sheets and concrete. I
Oh,
have concrete here,
yeah. Yeah,
and
that's
iron
not too bad.
sheets I'll have to ship in from somewhere, but that's also 1,000,000% fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get you.
So I'll I will let's see. First thing the first thing I'm gonna do, you want that in a manufacturer. Okay. This is a massive platform. Part of me wants to change how things are arranged. finished.
Okay. So, definitely gotta finish this. And then I also want to do. Just gonna get sulfuric acid coming in, and then go. All right.
Okay, and I want to start putting summer sloops into this right away.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
okay. First singularity cell, actually. Oh, isn't that interesting?
yeah. Wow, I'm still looking at plans. Alright, so first things first, let's set up a little sulfuric acid plant here.
Man, I am standing in just the loudest place. It is so hard to hear you.
It's all good. I'm just kind of muttering to myself more than anything. Okay. You need to die. So, pull up Satisfactory modeler.
Not that it should take it personally or anything.
Oh yeah.
Dark matter crystal, okay.
Okay, so 60. Mm.
I'm going to need a splitter down here. Hello, Skongr God. Hello.
Oh, hey, that's my
Hey.
Battlefield 6 friend I mentioned.
Aha. Well, hello. And you are exhorting us to be yourself. That's good advice. Hello.
Trust me, if I could be a battle angel in this game too, I would.
I'm sure there's mods.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, in Battlefield 6, I mostly play as a support, and that was how I met Skonger, actually. Um, because I uh, like I have never seen a more dedicated medic. And that's impressive. Oh, okay. You also need to die. Don't take it personal.
Let's see. Do I not see the B emote? I certainly don't see it on my tablet, and I have imperfect ways of seeing things in chat. I can see your words, but I can't always see. Hang on. Maybe if I hide the pinned message, because I certainly don't need to see it.
So, okay.
Okay. Well, certainly not seeing it through OBS. But thank you anyway. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Sounds like you already know Sophia. I am Vanya Loswen. The two of us play Satisfactory together on Tuesday evenings. At least that's what we're doing for now. We're kind of getting close to the end of the game. I
Yeah.
also stream on Sunday afternoons, usually simulation type stuff. Right now it's been Coral Island, which is kind of like Stardew Valley, except it takes place in Indonesia and there's a strong ocean cleanup component to it. A lot of people describe it by saying it's like Stardew Valley, except everyone is hot. I it
Oh, I
certainly
love
has a more
that.
it certainly has a more diverse cast than Stardew Valley on multiple axes. Somehow I'm not quite as entranced by the hotness as some streamers, but shrug.
Hey.
And I also host Slipstream Rogue Space on Thursday evenings, which is Twitch Plays FTL, essentially. Except we're all cute
That's.
furries.
I mean, yeah, and in game.
So yeah, that's my deal. Okay, I need to go and find that limestone, which I think is over in this corner, and why don't I use the actual thingy to find it? Where I am right now is the place I call New Silicon Valley because we're doing a lot of electronics and electronics adjacent stuff here, which is also including most of the Phase 5 stuff just because all the available stuff was here.
Yeah. One of the things that
Motors.
kind of like I pitched originally when we started talking about doing this game was that Vanya and I have very different build styles. Like not in a, oh, one is very clearly superior to the other or whatever, but more of a like, Vanya really likes to do more mega base style things, just like cram as much production into a single place as she can. Whereas I like more distributed bases. Just part of it is, part of it is trying to like segment out my production lines so that they are not as interdependent on each other. And another part of it is just I like the design challenge of it. I like, the creativity that I can get out of, well, okay, what happens if I have to produce everything or as much stuff as I can on site uh, to make these production lines. So, uh, it's kind of interesting to me anyway to see the contrast between those styles. Okay. So,
I've done a little bit of dedicated factory stuff. Like I've got a whole dedicated factory basically that's making the motors that are getting shipped over here to turn into turbo motors, and the result of that is that I'm throwing a lot of motors into the awesome sink. It's too
well,
many motors.
that just means we got to make more turbo motors, I guess.
It's not the worst idea. But yeah, my general strategy in this game tends to be let's get the next thing being produced. Let's start making the next
Yes.
thing, and if I need to scale up production of it later, then I can.
Yeah. Whereas I am very, no, I'm like obsessed with, making it look nice, for good and for ill.
Oh, that's right. These are constructors. I can tile them nicely. I love the rain.
Yeah, it is really nice, isn't it?
It's not lined up very well. bother me.
So, nope.
It's kind of nice being at a point where I can say, you know what, I am not certain how much concrete I'm actually going to need. I'm just going to throw down several machines worth and let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're going to be making ballistic warp drives up here forever, at least not in any large quantity.
Sure. That'll do. Sulfuric acid.
You know, somehow I'm always slightly surprised whenever sulfuric acid comes up as a thing that exists not on Venus. Like, it exists on Earth too. It's a thing, you know, it's something we use.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fairly important thing that we use in a lot of ways.
It's probably just because the first time I ever heard of it being a thing was in the context of, yeah, it's just what the atmosphere of Venus is.
Yeah. Oh man. So, you know, I believe I've mentioned before that I'm like a huge fan of first-person shooter games and all that jazz, and I am reminded that in Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, which was such a good game, like such a great interpretation of Wolfenstein and just like what made it good. But in that, you visit a a Nazi stronghold on Venus,
Like you
where
do.
yeah, where Hitler himself is making a movie about you, and you are uh, 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 like infiltrating as an actor, uh, playing as yourself or playing the role of yourself. It is
Okay.
ludicrous, and I love it so much. And in you know it is exactly what I want out of a Wolfenstein game. So if you ever get a chance, and if like me, you know, you love first person shooters, and especially ones that, you know, are from like id Software's lineage, just cannot recommend enough. Okay. So, set up this, and these just need power.
Okay, maybe I won't completely embed this conveyor lift in the rock.
Okay, so I just need.
See, when I think of the concept of Venus in a video game, my first thought
Yeah.
is the magic school bus explores the solar system.
Wait, that was a video game?
It was a game for the PC.
Whoa. Okay, are we talking like one of those like old school like Broderbund style games, like Freddy Fish, or oh god, what was the one with the purple car? I used to like it was it like a point and click adventure style, like a LucasArts kind of thing?
So it wasn't like a point and click adventure kind of game, but it was mostly a point and click experience. Basically, you started in the classroom, and it was a fairly straight adaptation of the story, the original
Mm-hmm.
book. It had the TV show cast and theme song, I might add.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So you'd start off in the classroom, and you'd get in the bus, and then you'd fly into space, and for every planet there was like a little science experiment mini game you could do. There were students there who would you know say interesting facts about whatever planet you were on. But uniquely for this game, because it was the first in a series of Magic School Bus based games.
Ooh,
Yeah, we had a few of them. The way that you would, quote unquote, win the game, find Miss Frizzle and win, was by collecting these tokens. Oh, I'm having to manage my falling here. You'd have to collect these tokens from these platforming, these little platformer games, and these were not the best designed platforming levels in gaming history. The music, though, like, it was this really funky soundtrack,
hell yeah.
and like very short music loops, but there was definitely an element of, wow, this music did not need to go this hard for this little edutainment game.
I think we call that the Sonic effect.
I don't know. I mean, it makes sense to me that the Sonic games have good music, but it's like, okay, Magic School Bus, like,
I guess that's
there are
fair.
some tracks better than others, but really good. And the other cool thing about these platformer mini games was that the gravity for each one corresponded with the gravity of the planet you were on. Like,
Ooh,
not exactly, or Jupiter would just crush you, but
yeah.
it correlated. On the moon, you'd have this long floaty jump, and on Jupiter, you had a little tiny jump, and it lined up.
That's cool.
And the other thing that is like really memorable to anyone who's played this game is that there was this extra mini game in the classroom which you could visit at any time during the experience. If you interacted with the globe, you would be, just plain old globe in the classroom. You would be given this kind of array of like fantasy planets, each of which had, I don't even want to call it a mini game. It was just kind of a little artistic Easter egg. Anyone who's watching on YouTube, I will find videos to link for these things. One of them,
Hell yeah.
like, had all these music loops that you could cycle through and like layer on top of each other, or really it was just cycling through some versions that were layered and some that were not. Which, like, this is one of those things where if someone sees it again after however many years, is this nostalgia punch in the face. It's like, oh my gosh, this is what got me interested in this style of music. I have seen that sentiment in YouTube comments, at least. So it just kind of a fun little gem of a game. And yeah, there were a bunch of these. There was the other two that we had were Inside the Human Body and Under the Ocean, which also had really good music.
Nice.
And I know there was one for the dinosaurs. there might have been a rainforest one. I don't remember. And there was definitely an element of, like, if you look at all of them later, you can tell, yeah, solar system was the first one, because they got better and more elaborate over time.
Cool.
Like, maybe the biggest, most noticeable change simply being that in the later games, you didn't have to do any, like, video game platforming to quote-unquote win the game. You know, it was much more of a, just kind of an edutainment playground. Which, you know, for the right kind of kid is a good time.
Yeah.
And, like, you shouldn't have to necessarily navigate a platforming challenge just to succeed in your little quest to learn about planets, which included Pluto at the time. As was the style at the time.
Look, Pluto is always a planet in my heart.
I look at it this way. If it wasn't for Pluto, no one would give a darn about dwarf planets. But dwarf planets have an ambassador now. They have a hero.
That is fair. And, you know, and this may be a controversial take, you know, I am certainly no stranger to those. But, I hate to say it, but I kind of get why they, like, decanonized Pluto in that regard.
Yeah.
There's
kind of a nice symmetry to a solar system that's got 4 rocky planets and 4 gas giants, and there you go.
Yeah, that's fair. I hadn't really thought of it that way.
Although, I gotta say, when the photos of Pluto showed up, it was just such a wonderful moment of, like, we went our entire childhoods, including Magic School Bus in the solar system, with this big old question mark on Pluto. There were decent photographs of every planet, but not Pluto.
Yeah.
Big old question mark.
It's so far away.
And to finally, like, even though Pluto, like, wasn't in the lineup anymore, to finally have that question mark filled in was...
Hell yeah.
It was it was finally complete.
Yeah. It's also, like, a gorgeous planet.
It really is.
Oh, that reminds me. Oh god, okay, I've gotta actually go to YouTube to see if I can find if I can remember the name of this. But there is a really great channel that I'm subscribed to where he uses some, like, space simulation software to do what if you fell into insert, you know, thing here. So, like, hey, what's it like to fall into a black hole? Or to fall into, you know, the various planets of our solar system and such. And he has one that was, it was something like, you know, watching, like, a supernova. Like, if our sun went supernova, what would that look like from Pluto?
Ooh.
And it is so gorgeous. He also has another one that is very similar, but it's what would a supernova look like from Earth? And it is so haunting. Like, because he has little, like, you know, captions to annotate, like, you know, here's what you're seeing and such. And it's, God, it's so just sad. But like
Yeah.
sad in, the way that I enjoy, if that makes sense to anyone who isn't a weirdo like me. Ah, Stargaze. Here we go. Yeah, it's this guy. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so like, what if a black hole entered our solar system? Uh, Falling into a planet orbiting a black hole.
You know
Um,
what this sounds like? This sounds like What If with a bigger budget.
yeah, kinda. Let me share this with you, and you can include a link if you feel so
Yeah,
inclined.
those of
Uh,
you on YouTube are seeing pop-ups.
yeah, the guy's name is Stargaze for anybody who's watching live here, but yeah, it's just like he's also got like really good music that he pairs with it, and I it's one of those like calming sort of things, but it is so just arresting sometimes. Because he's also like trying to simulate, okay, like yeah, falling into Jupiter, for instance, is one that he does. It's like, well, okay, yeah, we have like pretty high resolution imagery of, I don't want to say the surface, but like the outer layer of Jupiter. Well, what would it look like from a first person's perspective at the core of Jupiter? Like there is a rock there at the center of all that gas. What does it look like if you just had an indestructible spacesuit that could withstand, the pressure inside of that? What would that look like? Who knows, right? But I think he does a really good job of making it plausible.
Hmm.
So I cannot recommend that channel enough. There's also another. I gotta remember what the name of this guy is. I'll see if I can seek him out. But he basically does like he is an actual space station engineer.
Okay.
I forget who he works for, but like he's actually working on like a real space station and such. And so he has like his thing is like, hey, let's take a look at this space game. Like his first one is like, hey, the Dead Space games. How realistic is the like spaceship engineering in this? And it's actually like really insightful. And he's also like he's referred to by the people in his comments section as a space OSHA guy, because he'll just constantly point out like, oh yeah, by the way, in the stuff that we design, we try to like put guardrails and stuff, because we're actually like concerned with the safety of the people on our ship. Strange concept, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's great. If I find a link to him, I'll send that your way as well.
Nice. Uh, let's see. Speaking of strange things that may or may not be in space, I'm going to start extracting that nuclear pasta tax.
Okay.
Let's see. Nuclear pasta export. Yes, we're going to send that to this port. And once 50 of them are gathered up here, then I'll send it back to the space elevator.
Cool. Yeah.
In the meantime, I need to get iron plates over here. Is there anywhere we're making iron plates in any... Honestly, we're gonna need only a finite number of these as well.
Yeah,
I
I
could
mean, I
just
feel
load up
like
a
you could
bin.
just. Yeah.
mean, we can always... I'm leaving all this stuff here, so if we want to, we can certainly later on do the keep on manufacturing project parts forever thing, but we don't have
Sure.
to. And let's put a sign on you. Oh, portrait sign. That's kind of nice. It's not a design I've used before. I could use the drone port for that as well. The only reason not to do it this way is just because it's a pretty large volume that we'll need. You need 100 iron plate for every 10 singularity cell, which I've multiplied to 20 with the Sommer sloops. But that means it's quite a lot of iron plates, so maybe I'll use this drone port for something else as well. That's not a bad idea. But for now, it can be what it is.
Isn't there like a cast iron plates recipe?
Cast iron
that can-
plates.
Yeah, that can take like steel and transform it into plates. Because if that's the case, I
Might-
wonder if I'll just drag
There might be some stuff I could do
steel
with the SAM ore up here. Steel cast plate. Yes, steel cast plates are a thing. You use an iron ingot and a steel ingot, and you get 3 iron plates out of it.
So you still need iron ore. That's annoying.
Let's see. Iron ingot.
Do not
There's
like how there's
alternates.
type of I just need to prove the system first.
And it's not something I can make using bizarre SAM methods, because it's just too basic, I guess. Well, alright.
Well, iron? I thought you could transmute like concrete into it, right? Or did I hallucinate that?
Let me look. Iron ingots.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you don't
Bleached
get
iron
the
ingot, pure iron ingot, regular iron ingot, iron alloy ingot. Basic iron ingot uses iron ore and limestone to make
Yeah,
iron
but
ingots.
I thought that you could transmute like sorry, not concrete, limestone into iron ore with a converter.
Maybe. Let me
Oh
just
yeah, you
place a
can oh wait, no. Sorry,
No?
I misread that. Yeah. Oh yeah, iron ore limestone. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it needs a lot of limestone, but
Well, I have a lot of limestone. Of course, I already turned it into concrete, but... Oh, it's not listed as recipes. That's why. Okay. Yeah, alright. Interesting. Okay, that's very interesting. In that case... I have different things to do then. That's fascinating. You know, that almost makes me want to... No, that's too many buildings to put in this big old mess. I'll run 2 belts rather than put all those buildings over here. where by 2 I mean add another one to the stack. At some point I'm gonna need to implement a spiral or something. Get handy the camera for a while I'm poring over things. Yeah, that escaped my notice because it's not listed as a recipe.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It's yeah, the converter stuff is weird. I just remember looking it up. What?
Well, it's kind of nice for this just as a late game convenience thing. Like, there's no iron nodes nearby, but I don't have to care anymore. As long as I have the power to run this thing, which I may well have at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, it needs to be animated sand. Okay. Like in that case. Oh yeah, that is. Of course it needs that. Built slightly off kilter. It's just something that's on my mind. Okay, we'll fix that in a moment. It will look better soon.
Is that cool?
It'll look better soon, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, cry laugh emoji.
Nah, really, I just gotta drain the extra stuff off of this. Why?
Okay. Yeah. Just honey though. Okay, so get a nice buffer going there. And now we just need to shot. Okay. Let's do configuration first.
To self. Rather, question to self. Where did I put the reanimated Sam? Right, that's coming in on this big old stack. Aha.
Not bad. Oh, I made this. And, also probably a little mad seeing if I can make the roofs on it look nice. I like having the covered belts here for this sort of thing.
Okay, that's making iron ore. So now I just need to make the rest of all that. Hang on. I need to do two things. I need to make the concrete and the iron stuff.
Will never cease to amuse me just how perfectly they replicated the Doom 2016 chainsaw animation for this. Like, they said that they were Doom fans, and boy howdy can I feel it. Like, I always feel just a little bit more like the Slayer when I pull out the chainsaw. And you know, that is always a pleasant state of affairs, I think. We should all be more like the Slayer, I think. So,
Okay, there's that. I think. I wonder if this would be better done with a splitter here. It's a tight fit. That doesn't join up. Oh, of course it doesn't if it's pointed the wrong way. Sheesh. How'd that even happen?
uh, uh, well-programmed game with no bugs.
No, I'm sure it was pioneer error. It's just there we go. Now the question is, does this actually connect or does it just look like it connects?
I wonder, you know, what's the version of PEBCAC, but for, you know, fixing? Is it like problem between Pioneer and Build Gun, or what?
Pioneer exists?
I'm sure that's what Ada would say, yes. Regrettably, I must depend upon, uh, uh, you know, things of flesh and bone for this.
All right, at this point, I'm getting to one of those points where I start to increasingly downplay the importance of things looking perfect. Let's just get one constructor in here. Surface is too uneven. What are you talking about? You should make concrete. It will take 45 per minute. That's at least working. This.
Now, I think I have the extremely unenviable task of figuring out how to link these two sections of railway.
I heard something
Wish-
about the unenviable task of linking sections of railway.
Yep. So, I have another interesting design problem on my hands here of this factory. So, you know, I've got these two sections of railway, you know, one that is kind of this more arterial line. Is this curved slightly? Yes, it is. That's why it doesn't. Ah! This is why we check. This is why we check before doing these things. Okay. Okay. How do I wanna do this? What ways am I going to destroy my sanity here?
Who needs sanity?
Maybe here.
It was always overrated.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but, you know. That's,
Where was that power plug? It's all the way over there.
yeah. Okay, here's a weird idea. What if we had this track actually go under here and connect with that section of rail instead? That would be... Oh, that would be significantly easier.
I know you're talking, but I am in such a loud place right now.
No, it's fine. Like I said, I'm just mumbling to myself. Yeah. Okay. So I've still got two sections of railway to join. Maybe. This would be slightly less of just a huge pain in the ass. Wish me luck? Question mark. Alright. So, what I think we're gonna use... have this...
Okay, let's run you over here. And run this somewhere over there.
That's too much.
That's looking more promising.
Rails. That would be okay. Wall.
Okay, I've got about half the nuclear pastas I need over here already.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, you're cranking them out over there.
Oh, come on. It's gonna build it. Small chunks, you're fine. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Sure that I can
Okay,
make that.
yes. Both of these things need dark matter crystals.
Let me just kind of. So, hate to do all this work, and then. Oh, by the way, Sylvie, you can't do a railway like that. Ah, you
Can't
think.
do a railway like that.
Yeah. Ugh. If rail turns too sharply. I think I've heard that enough from this game to, you know. Oh yeah, look at that clearance. Look at that clearance right there. Perfect. And then just you know to have a little bit more fun with it. Remember playing games for fun. I remember what fun is.
I thought that's what we were doing.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Nice.
Incredible. Okay. Well, the work is not done. So now I'm gonna link this to that. Then, you know, then I can uh then I can link things into I'll start linking things to those train stations, because then it'll have connections to everything.
Okay. So now I'm gonna need two. Okay, I'm gonna need the superposition oscillators. Why did I do it this way? Why did I not look at what was there?
Hubris?
Carelessness more than hubris. Right, that's a much better way to deal with the superposition oscillators.
Okay. Now comes the very fun part of extremely slow and very careful adjustments of both position and height. Because I've got to make a gentle curve. I have to make kind of a chicane curve, and it's got to go down just slightly, you know? Um, so, uh, first things first, actually, just as a little bit of a test, let's... No, god damn it. There you go. Just gonna drag something over here so I can get the height right.
Okay, now I just need to find where did I put those thermal propulsion rockets? A very relatable problem, of course. There they are. Ah, okay. I'm gonna need to send turbo motors over here. That is fine. You are heading off and away. That way? Oh, I think we've got enough of those over here already.
Okay. They are in the same level. Slightly.
I don't think I actually need to make more of those. We made extra before.
Okay. Then, might be a good idea to do that. Ways that. Yeah, let's have that blaze happen there.
How in the world is that not working as a straight belt? That's better.
So that's... We are now aligned in height. Now I just need to get this chicane working. It's absolute chicanery, I tell you.
Okay, and with that done, that just needs to get sent to the space elevator, which means we can just merge it into the same belt that the AI expansion servers are going on.
Oh no!
Oh, what's wrong?
It's just like a hair's breadth off.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What happens
Alright.
now?
Well, it just means that I go back and I start trying to adjust from each angle. I feel like we can make something work.
Okay, this is turning out surprisingly tidy. For how insane it is, it's surprisingly easy to reconfigure to be what I want. Because it's got this very... actually it's kind of hilarious. It would not be all that difficult to just have the nuclear pasta rejoin all these other project parts and have them all sent over in the same drone, even if I never send this back to the space elevator. Which is ridiculous, but it could be done.
Wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing we've done.
Not by a long shot. I don't want to do that belt that way. Nice, graceful curve belt. There, much better. Straight belt, run it over here, and run it over here, and run it over here. Okay.
Oh.
Wow, almost got enough cubes.
Woo!
And we currently have 165 AI expansion servers. I want to make sure that that number ticks upwards at least once, and then I'll know that my belts are actually connected properly. In the meantime, I can watch the airport over there. Nice view. I love that I put the radar tower over near the airport. It really makes it look like a proper airport.
Oh yeah. Um,
Come on, just one tick upwards. That's all we need. Meantime, I'm gonna check on this. Okay, yeah, we only need one thermal propulsion rocket per ballistic missile. We have more than we need. Yes, okay, it's all set. So all I need to do is make sure we have enough nuclear pastas. Then I can redirect the drone back to the space elevator. And then we'll be good to go.
Woo. You know what? That is close enough.
That's close enough.
Yeah, there's a tiny little bit of like seam here, but like whatever. I cannot bring myself to care about that right now.
You can always care later if you really, really want to.
Yeah, exactly. Spoiler alert: she will not, because I will. It is placed basically in such a way that I'm like, I will forget that this exists, and that is probably best for my sanity.
Okay, we're only gonna need a couple more trips of this drone. I wonder if I just hang out here for a while, I bet I can time it just about perfectly. While I'm doing that, we can admire the lovely little animation effects around the superposition oscillators.
Ooh, I didn't know that they had animations.
Yeah, so you know how when you've got the nuclear pasta sitting there, there's kind of a visual distortion effect because it's like bending
Yeah.
the light around it because it's so dense.
Yeah.
So the superposition oscillators, when you just look at the icon, you can see the shape of it, and it's kind of a Rubik's Cube looking thing suspended in this twisted space.
Yeah.
It's kind of doing a glitchy little movement inside that space.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah, you can just watch it happen on all these as they're sitting on the belt. How's our dark matter crystal supply? Oh yeah, we're gonna burn through them as fast as we're making them, especially once these things fire up. Wasn't I? It's just making photonic matter. Yeah, I may need to start just generating more dark matter residue. Which is fine and all, just something to be aware of. I think that nuclear pasta drone... It seems to be kind of... Yeah, it's really swinging wide to the south to come over here. I don't know why it does that.
Something efficiency.
Yeah, just how drone pathing works, I guess. Aha! Got 50. Okay, so I will send this back to the space elevator. And drum roll. It's time to hook this up to this whole shebang and see how it goes. This goes here, and this goes here. And click. So that manufacturer is now making singularity cells, which will go into the other manufacturer and become the ballistic warp drives.
Woo! Nice work.
Yeah, I know I mentioned earlier about how this phase kind of comes together surprisingly quickly. And it does, as long as you can not get too tripped up by the whole dark matter imbalance thing, because we are going to be using a lot of dark matter crystals here. I may need to start just manufacturing dark matter residue. But that's okay. Okay, there go the singularity cells, and there go the ballistic warp drives. Yeah, because, like, suppose we fill up the AI expansion server requirement and just stop making those. That means that we're not going to be making 100 dark matter residue per minute as the byproduct from that. And that applies to, that also applies to some extent to the neural quantum processors that go into the AI expansion servers. So if those processes get turned off, then I'm going to need to inject some more dark matter residue into this system so that we have more crystals. So I'm going to go ahead and set up something for that now.
That seems nice.
Because we are using rather large quantities at this point. Yeah, we can just feed Sam ore into this. Dark matter crystal. You need the residue in order to make the crystals, and you need the sand ore. Okay. Some ores over here. Ooh. that drone port out of here. I can rebuild it elsewhere if I need to.
Perfect angle. Yes. So we have a little line through such
You
great
need more
heat.
concrete. You need way more concrete. Okay, that's a little better. But yeah, I'm gonna need to bring that sand more over here. full tilt, but it's better than it was.
Sometimes that's the best we can ask for, right?
Let's just do terrible things to our power usage. We're fine. Wow, who'd have thought that the limiting reagent would be concrete?
Bring it up to these. Straight up these,
I'm going to turn that down slightly then. And power shards. I don't need to be carrying a whole pile of those. Okay, and I think we're in a state where as long as I come back every once in a while and check that nothing's horribly backed up, we should be good to go.
woo!
Ah, right, and you're backed up because... Okay, that does need the dark matter crystals. Okay, well those are getting manufactured at a reasonable rate now. And the branching... will fill up the paths that are using them slowly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna let this run for a while. And start cleaning this place up a bit. Because it has become even more chaotic as of late, and I think it's time to get it actually looking nice.
Yes, conflicting entry signals.
Mirror. There, that platform doesn't need to be there. Big old thing.
Just for this sake. Is this still loop?
May have done the same thing as before, where it made one unsommerslooped product, and I'm gonna have to put in one more cube, but that is okay. We have enough extras of everything else that it's all right.
Okay. Well, that works. That's great. Love that.
Ah, need more reanimated sand. Okay. It's okay. Perfectly understandable situation.
Alright, I'm gonna step away and get some water. I'll be right back.
That is fair. Oh, hello, nuclear hog. What's your problem? I guess it's just far enough away to not be affected by all this.
Okay, I'm back.
Huzzah! And I'm making much more respectable amounts of reanimated Sam.
Awesome. Okay. So, I think it's time to pick stuff up to this and start actually using this steel plant for something.
Nice.
Yeah. So, first things first.
This sound stopped? Yeah. So why are we only doing like one at a time?
Is there a reason? Did we pause the automated wiring over here for a reason? Did I forget
Yes,
that?
because I didn't need any more of it over here.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, because that goes into biochemical sculptures, right?
Yeah, which we don't need to make more of right now.
Oh, well, okay.
We
Then in that
we
case, might as well just deconstruct all of this because I don't need it anymore.
we could, yeah, I mean, if we wanted to start making them again, just kind of as a, hey, look, the factory makes everything and we can sync it for points, then we could just build a new facility. I don't mind.
Yeah. I mean, personally, if I'm gonna do that, that sort of victory lap kind of thing, I'm gonna do that'll be the nuclear power plant.
I feel like that was more the project you had in mind, yeah. Okay, well, let's me figure out what I want this place to look like.
Like space. And honestly, deconstructing all these machines might make it easier for me to load in the future.
It's possible.
Because I feel like I remember reading something about that basically the density of machines can sometimes make it difficult to uh, create a multiplayer session. Because basically, like, your game running, as the server has to transmit all of the, deltas to me so that my game can start processing them. And, for large enough things, that can take a while to load. It's one of the reasons that people recommend against larger bases or like mega bases in multiplayer games. Is because
Oh.
doing that, they're sending those, updates and loading in can be a little bit more difficult. At least that's what I've read. Anyway, it does not surprise me that Unreal Engine 5 does not have great net code in that regard. Like, don't get me wrong, Coffee Stain Studios does great work, and they're I think a step above a lot of other people in this sort of genre, but like they're no, you know, they're not the Factorio developers who like obsessively optimize everything because they understand just how big of a problem these sorts of updates can, be if you
Hmm.
don't, properly like think about and optimize your uh, how how everything is handled.
Okay, that is what it needs to be. So let's expand this out. I'm getting to the point where I'm saying, all right, time to make this look nice.
Mm.
Now that it works, I can take the time to do that.
Yeah, something form follows function, right?
Okay. This. Oop. That can still swoop down there for now. I'll probably change it at some point, but it's okay. Note to self, let's send that out through the basement like all the other ones. Okay, looks good. the converter running in an enclosed space, and the sound design is just amazing.
Oh yeah. I haven't really looked at those all that much. I gotta change that.
Okay, let's... set this out here. Now that's more enclosed, but the belts are still somewhat chaotic. A little chaos is acceptable. The concrete's looking a little strange.
Little chaos is acceptable as long as you keep it under control.
Well, I'm trying to... I want things to at least be kind of flowing in the same general path. Like, even if they're not quite neatly stacked on top of each other, at least I don't want, like, these three belts going more or less the same way, and then the concrete belt is just, like, zigzagging all over the place because it didn't have an attachment point, and it's like, what is it even
Oh,
doing?
sure. That also makes a lot of sense. I was just making a really dumb Sonic joke.
This is an acceptable activity to be doing.
Yeah,
But
I thought that you of all people could appreciate that.
I do appreciate that. I'm just thinking about this belt, and maybe I'll work on something easier for a while. Maybe I'll come see what you're doing, because it's getting on to 11:30, and I might as well do that.
Yeah.
Let's see, how is this going? You just need more dark matter crystals. But it's not really doing any good to overclock you if you're not even getting through the ones you have. So, shrug. I'm not going to worry about it too much. This is just endgame stuff. It can tick forward as it will. Especially if the other stuff isn't really using crystals anymore. Yeah, that's all fine for now. It can just run. So, I will head towards you, and you can show me what you've been working on.
Yeah. Probably denies that. Let's...
Huh, quick wire.
Just random quick wire, or...
Well, let's see where it's going. Oh, I think it's going to Weapons Wharf.
Aha! Oh, right. Yeah. Because you need it for the radiation filters.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does make sense. I would be the one who ran a conveyor belt through the surface of the ground and
Yeah.
left it for future me to wonder about. Not like it's hurting anything.
Yeah, I
See some
mean...
nice lights over here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need to, now that I'm actually planning on trying to send stuff places via the network, I kind of need to, like, have, signals actually working. So, at least in the core, anyway. But yeah, so the steel foundry here is done, I think.
Nice.
And like it's already filled up. So, I just need to like send it places. Um, so yeah, basically you have a sort of main network, and then this kind of feeds in, splits off into the two stations because they are named the same. The Any train that is looking to fill from them will go to either, whichever is open, and then they will head basically back into the network via this like lower rail section there. So
Cool.
that's all hooked up, and
Hang on,
now I
I'm gonna
just
get a
need to
picture.
send that places. So, um, I think probably the first thing that I'll do is I think there's ways that I can optimize the modular frames setup that you've got there using steel, um, especially because like modular frames themselves can be done with steel in some much more efficient ways.
Ah,
Um, and then I could maybe even export those via the network as well. So, yeah, I'm just sort of trying to grow my train empire, I guess.
cool.
Should maybe also hook up a SAM node to that. That would be a good idea. So yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on. And then I deconstructed all of the automated wiring stuff. At some point very soon, I'll probably swing through and try to clean up the smart plating stuff that you've got in the back here. Um,
Okay.
Obviously we still need it, but like I can kind of condense the amount of machines that are there, and you know,
I
if I'm
guess
trying
so.
to...
Let me look up what it actually goes into. Smart plating goes into modular engines, which goes into thermal propulsion rockets, which we have enough of already. So actually, no, we don't need that right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I can just I'll deconstruct that when I come in next time.
Okay.
Um, cool, cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Um, yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on here. Yeah, I mean, I think the next sort of things that I'd be looking for would be like ways to optimize uh stuff for the project parts that we have left. Or, you know, just get started on the nuclear plant.
Honestly, in terms of optimizing for the project parts that we have left, that's kind of all. I think all the limiting reagents are like I could just make more dark matter residue and speed that up at this point.
Okay.
I think that's mostly where it is. I mean, unless you want to make nuclear pasta faster and, you know, build a whole second factory of the one you already made before. But I think it's...
I mean, I could just Sommers loop the particle accelerators, although, my god, oh, the power consumption of that would be awful.
So I currently have 8 Sommers loops invested into those ballistic warp drives. And that's mostly just so that I only would need to leech 50 nuclear pastas away from you instead of more than that. Might be 51 if the math doesn't quite work out, but...
I mean, we've got, you know, we've got a lot of power headroom, so I don't know. I might look at doing that.
Yeah, I checked the poll, and it's like, this was after I'd overclocked some ridiculous quantum machine. It's like, yeah, we are not even, like, our max consumption is like half our production, or like half our capacity.
I'm a fan of that. It shows that we did a good job building that thing.
Yeah, so I don't think we're having issues. I'm heading up to New Silicon Valley so we can take a look at stuff up there.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of stuff got done today, but it kind of was mostly a matter of just saying, well, I've already got like 3 of the 4 things I need all in the same place. Let's just make sure they all get into the manufacturer together with the nuclear pasta, and bam, there you go.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Alright, well, I guess, you know, based on what you're saying here, I guess I should start working on my victory lap.
Yeah, if you want to do, like, the ultimate nuclear power plant, it's as good a time as any to start work on it, because at this rate, everything is in place. It's just a matter of time, and I can certainly work on speeding things up, but...
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a need for that.
Yeah, it's...
Okay.
It's doing what it's doing. It's kind of interesting, because I think at this rate, we may finish the nuclear pastas before the ballistic warp drives, which is... If that's how it is, it would be the opposite of how it was when I was playing before, but then you set up a faster way to make those way before I did. So it's just kind of how the balance worked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing to do is to... No. Keep using the rocket pack. Because the first thing to do is to get on top of all this mess. The thing to do is to get on top of all this mess. I mean, I clearly got to put in some elevators. That's the other thing I want to do is I want to make New Silicon Valley really look the part. So.
Oh,
that's what I got to do.
Yeah, that comes out.
just you know, now that everything works, I can start putting in the walls and all that. So.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so.
All right, so what do we got?
Okay, so right here, what the converter you're looking at now. I guess I could turn this up a little more since it is not quite working through what it's got. So 3 shards seemed like too many, but 2 should be fine. Anyway, that is creating extra dark matter residue because we're now using a lot more crystals than we're making.
Oh.
And those are going into, first, this manufacturer here is making the singularity cells. And those go into this manufacturer, which is making ballistic warp drives.
Ooh.
And those get shipped off to the space elevator. And if you look at the parts here, it's the thermal propulsion rockets, which we already made enough of. The superposition oscillators, which are being made here. Dark matter crystals, also being made right here. And then the singularity cells, nuclear pasta, we ship those in. The dark matter crystals, and then just tons of iron plates and concrete, which is... it's kind of funny that such low-level parts get brought into this, but you need to make them in rather large quantities. Oh, and while you're here, you should definitely get a nice close look at the superposition oscillators on the belt.
Oh, I was
really
looking
cool.
at those. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Especially because they're all, like, desynchronized, so, like, they're just randomly each one of them is randomly jittering. That's very cool.
Yeah. So that's all running about as it was, and wow, we are really progressing on these AI expansion servers.
Yeah.
And yeah, see, if I turn this off, then that's dark matter residue that we won't be making anymore. And same goes for the neural quantum processors, which basically their only use is to go into the AI expansion servers right now. So that's another reason I needed this extra converter, is because now we need a lot more dark matter than we're getting as byproducts.
Yeah.
So the needle has just completely swung in the opposite direction.
From what you said, that seems to be just how it is with this stage of things.
That's how it is in Phase 5 when you're, like, organically building things as you gain the capability of making them. Like, I'm sure if you wanted to set up a mega factory that makes everything at full speed and has exactly as much of everything as it needs, you could come up with a way to do that. It would just take a bit of math, but
Yeah.
if you're building things organically and not making more than you need, then it's ever shifting.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, and speaking of cool things, so if you come over here, this is kind of the basement where I'm turning limestone, transmuting limestone into iron ore, making the concrete, making the iron stuff. But if you come in here, you can listen to the converter. And I don't think my sounds are working quite right, so I'm going to switch to your camera. Is this actually working? Yes. You should be getting more echoes in here than usual. I'm hearing them too.
Yeah.
I do plan on enclosing this basement more. But see, this is the chaos I was talking about, is I've got the aluminum and the time crystals and the trigons kind of all flowing in more or less the same direction, and then the concrete is just like, what are you doing? And the reason it's doing that is because going straight across was too long of a distance, and so I may add more foundations to fix that, but that's the reason for the present madness. Now this SAM ore over here is... It works, yes. The SAM ore is really just coming from the same place it was before. It's just now it's getting shipped farther over here so that it can be used for transmutation instead of all getting used to become fixite. So that wasn't... It was a bit of running around, but it wasn't as big of a change as it might have been.
Yeah, this is cool.
I think so.
It's chaotic, but like it's very cool. I dig it.
Yeah, the stacked belt has certainly become more stacked over time, and that's another thing that would be good to work with later. But I really like the way it looks when a fast belt isn't full and things are just kind of running along it quickly and
Yeah,
smoothly, like the SAM
yeah,
here, it looks really nice.
yeah, yeah. It does.
Okay, I'm gonna switch back to this jetpack.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go.
and ballistic warp drives are slowly ticking upwards, so it's all just a matter
Hell
of time at this point.
yeah. All right. Well, then in prep for next week, I'll go into Satisfactory Modeler and just, you know, double check my math on all those, and then I'll start working on nuclear power next. Then,
Make sure the math is mathing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, part of it is also like I said, you have to generate enough for Fixite to be worth it. You have to have enough power being generated by the previous steps to where generating the singularity cells for it doesn't, you know, just drain all of the power that you would have made. Uh, so like that's cool. That's very good. I think the way that they put it on the wiki is that like the break even point is somewhere around like 60 gigawatts or so. So we'll essentially be like more than doubling the amount of power that we have.
That's a lot.
Not necessary by any stretch of the imagination, but like, it's cool. Like it's fun
It's
to do.
fine.
Yeah, and it'll
Yeah.
be a very fun logistics challenge because like, you know, I've, the big thing that I've got to sort of figure out is like, do I want to put them all in one large nuclear plant with all three stages, or do I want to distribute out the parts for it? The problem with that, though, is that, yeah, the problem with that is that plutonium needs uranium inputs, so it's just better to have those there. I don't know. There's a lot of work that I gotta do to figure that out. But that can start next week.
That's a problem for
In the
future
meantime,
you.
yes. In the meantime, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm kind of running around figuring out where I want to park myself here.
Sure.
Because there was one nice place I went to, and then I realized, no, this has a beautiful view of 10 billion machines. And do I want to go into this red terrain? Do I really? I don't think I do. You know? It's just. It's just not a good idea, tactically. You know, I think I'm in less danger being the usual host, so I'm just gonna park myself on an archway overlooking New Silicon Valley and call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go, and save. Huzzah! Okay, well, out to the outro screen. And yes, thank you for joining me. Thank you, friends in chat and on YouTube, for joining us.
Oh yeah. And we'll see you for I guess, the protracted victory lap that we're gonna be doing.
Yeah, I probably should speed up the ballistic warp drives at least a little bit because it looks like the
I
nuclear
mean,
pasta's outpacing them. But yeah, definitely for me, a lot of sprucing up New Silicon Valley and nuclear stuff for you at long last.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see how New Silicon Valley kind of shapes up because I think you had mentioned that, you wanted to kind of really lean into the office skyscraper kind of look.
Not so much skyscraper as well. You can kind of see so far, the whole playful Google-esque corporate cubes look.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I
I can
wanna
see
I
that.
wanna I wanna give things nice roofs. I wanna cut down on the anti-gravity look of everything. I wanna make it look a little more real and I mean traffic in the Bay Area is what it is, but the belts could probably stand to be a little less ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figure out something.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I will bounce, and I will see you in a week.
Yeah, I'll see you next time, and I will find someone for us to raid out to. Let's see. Da, da, da. All right. Well, Salford Sal is playing Clanfolk, which last I checked is kind of like RimWorld except Scotland. So let's head over there, and we will see you all next week. Or you can join me Sunday or Thursday for other stuff. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.